The new moon in Pisces on the 18th of March, 2026. On March 18th, 2026, 9:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a new moon in Pisces begins a new lunar cycle. This event is the first new moon that is not an eclipse since the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. For this reason, it closes the eclipse window and offers us an invitation to begin the journey of integrating everything we experienced in the past month. The Pisces new moon reminds us that seeds grow in the dark and the first stages of their growth are not visible to the eye. This new moon does not demand immediate action but rather invites us to deepen our receptivity and refine our alignment with what is true before we set an intention, act on a vision, or make a move. The last new moon of winter occurs on March 18th, 2 days before spring officially begins. What will it mean for you? The new moon in Pisces ushers in a unique way of feeling, veering us from old walks of life and down another path. Instead, we'll sidestep logic and appreciate what is truly in our hearts. We may even discover a thing or two about ourselves, especially about the type of energy we want around us. Fortunately, the new moon will close the eclipse portal that began on February 17th. You'll remember this was when the annular solar eclipse in Aquarius commenced, and the occurrence of the total lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd too, allowing us to move forward. At this point, we are releasing our lingering emotions and rebirthing our spiritual beliefs. It is a time of soulful awakenings. Uranus in Taurus is a focal planet in play, pushing us to lean into the unknown. We are not adhering to the status quo. What brings us joy is marching to the beat of our own drum and forging our own unique path. Unlike high-intensity full moons, this new moon is described as a sacred pause or quiet moment, allowing for quiet reflection, nurturing intuition, and preparing for the upcoming spring or autumn growth. It marks the end of the early month eclipse window, signaling a shift from chaotic transformation to a calm space for new beginnings. This new moon will be felt more personally by those of us born with personal placements in the late degrees of mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and in the early degrees of cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They are going through a threshold moment in their lives, experiencing both endings and beginnings simultaneously. New moons offer us an opportunity to start fresh and begin anew in one or more areas of our lives. New moons are moments of renewal, a time to plant seeds for the future, clarify our intentions, and make sure we move toward a meaningful direction. At this time of the month, the moon is still invisible from our perspective. Darkness invites us to go inward, to the quiet, fertile space where seeds begin to come to life. Pisces is the Alpha and the Omega, the place where everything ends and begins, where we all come from and where we are all going. This sign rules the unseen, mystical dimension of life, a place where boundaries do not exist, where we surrender our personal will and ego to forces much greater than us. A new moon in Pisces is not as energizing and action-oriented as many other new moons. This one is less about setting rigid goals and outcome-oriented intentions and more about coming to a place of stillness and presence, making sure we act in alignment with how we aspire to feel, with the inner state we wish to cultivate. These days, our sensitivity is heightened, we feel more impacted by everything happening in the collective field, and more information comes through in dreams or reaches us through symbolism and synchronicities. Our dreams are more vivid and filled with relevant messages and information from our unconscious and beyond that can help us understand in what direction to move. Ultimately, the Pisces new moon is an invitation to cultivate trust in the unseen, in our intuition, in divine timing, and in all those processes the rational mind can't grasp. The Pisces new moon reminds us that progress can't be rushed, that seeds grow in the dark, that they need time to sprout, and that when it looks like nothing is happening, a lot is going on beneath the surface. In Pisces season we are asked to connect with that which we might consider to be the divine or mystical presence in our lives. All the more so with Mercury retrograde and conjunct the North Node in Pisces. Whether that means a spiritual practice, or connecting to that part of you that feels magical, meaningful and true on a very deep level. That part of us that transcends the real world. Mercury retrograde in Pisces rarely speaks in words. It speaks in feelings. Its voice is so subtle that it is easily drowned out in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. Yet it is this voice in the silence that feeds the soul and brings meaning to our lives. And without that connection, we would always feel as if something deeply significant was missing. Ultimately, the Pisces new moon is about preparation. It asks us to release what we no longer need so we can step into the new astrological year with more space, clarity, and intention. By the time the equinox arrives on March 20th, we may find ourselves feeling lighter, more grounded, and more aware of the direction we want to move in next. As the final new moon before the new astrological year Aries season, this event asks, what do I need to finish so I can begin anew? It is a perfect time to embrace vulnerability, cultivate compassion, and connect with your spiritual purpose. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching this video. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.